Coming up next on Bear News, crime rate is up in Greeley, and we've got some safety tips for you.
UNC sports are in full swing. How are your football, volleyball, and soccer teams doing? I'll let you know later on in sports.
Some very mild weather for the end of September. Is there a change in sight? I'll let you know in weather.
We've got all that and more on this episode of Bear News. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us today on Bear News. I'm Jem Gamarano.
And I'm Jamie Arterburn. Students gather around Gunter Green with candles in hand to pay respects to the loss of fellow UNC student the night of August 21st. Brendan Bandy, a loving son, older brother, friend, and Chiba Hut co-worker, died the night of August 19th from an ongoing health issue. Dressed in purple for epilepsy awareness, Brendan's friends and family took turns sharing stories and memories of him to celebrate his life. The Bandy family encourages everyone that knew him to continue Facebook posts and friending him because they enjoy seeing all the love their son brought to so many people.
School is back in session, which means officers are on the lookout for underage drinking. During the first week of school, UNC police gave out 26 MIPs just on campus. They also issued several more off campus. Police even took at least 7 students to detox. The Drug, Alcohol, and Tobacco Education Organization in Cassidy Hall is making sure they step up their services to help prevent underage drinking. Officer Larry explains the consequences of getting an MIP in our area can vary. Most MIPs include a required alcohol education class, and the MIP also has a fine that varies depending on the severity. If there are repeat offenders, the student may be required to wear an ankle bracelet that monitors the alcohol intake. Officers say the first week is usually the worst for these offenses like this, and they say they usually decrease as the year goes on. Greeley gang member Manuel Edwards is spending the next 2 years behind bars. Edwards was charged with attempted first-degree murder and pled guilty to felony menacing in his hearing last week. He was involved in a shooting in Greeley at Island Grove in mid-June and is now sentenced to 2 years in prison and 2 years of probation. Another Greeley gang member is arrested for sexual assault. 21-year-old Marcos Mendez Vega was identified by the sexual assault victim in a lineup this week. Mendez Vega has a history of unlawful sexual contact and also faces charges for not registering as a sex offender. His hearing continues today.
Because of these incidents, we have some tips on how to stay safe on and off campus. UNC police suggest that you walk with others at night and stay in well-lit, well-lightened open areas. Be aware of your surroundings. Don't carry large amounts of cash or credit cards. Know where the campus emergency phones are. Have your keys ready when walking to your car or home. Be cautious of strangers and don't hesitate to call the police. The blue emergency phones are located throughout both sides of campus, and pressing the button will alert the UNC police immediately. Feels like summer. I'm wondering if that will all change soon. Bear News meteorologist Paul Ford has a first look at weather. Paul?
Thanks, Jamie. Right now we're looking at the temperature outside. It's pretty brisk for this time of year at about 64 degrees. As you can tell with all the rain out there, we're at about 60% humidity, but the wind's not too bad, cooling down the temperatures at only about 5 miles per hour. Taking a look out at the precipitation over the past 24 hours, you can see around here we've gotten about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rain in just the past 24 hours in northern Colorado. And if you take into account the last 3 days, there's been about 1 to 3 inches. Taking a look into my segment later on, we've got to look into October. And is there any more rain in our forecast? Plus, I've got your homecoming forecast. Back to you guys.
All right, well, coming up after the break, we'll show you how the cultural centers on campus celebrate school starting.
Later, we'll have all the information you need about how to get rid of old drugs. Stay tuned.
It's okay.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Let me back up. We're having dinner soon.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
Tuesday, UNC President Kay Norton gave her annual State of the Union address. 2012 marks Norton's 10th year as president of the university, and she reflects on the lessons she learns in her position.
We know what is required to fulfill the University of Northern Colorado. We can't escape the context around us, but we can decide to focus on what matters. We must appraise ourselves honestly, figure out why we're here and what we're good at, set aside the unrealistic expectations of others, and decide how to move forward. The economy is fundamentally changing. Our economic health is increasingly dependent on educated citizens and is only going to get harder to participate in the economy without post-secondary education.
A transcript of Norton's full speech is available on the UNC homepage.
UNC's cultural centers are gearing up for another semester with events across campus. Food, games, and music ushered in a variety of students during the Marcus Garvey Cultural Center's Street Bash. The Street Bash brought together all of UNC's cultural centers. The Garvey and all of the other centers are open to all types of students. Garvey director Ty Ray Thompson explains what he says makes the cultural centers unique.
We do everything with all of our hearts. You know, we lead from the heart. Everything we do, whether it comes from doing our events, whether it comes from our advising, our mentoring, it always comes from the heart.
Please don't.
Another cultural center celebrates its heritage with food and music. The Cesar Chavez Cultural Center celebrated its 16th of September. That was the day in 1810 when Mexico began to fight for independence from Spain. At UNC, the event kicks off Hispanic Heritage Month. Cesar Chavez director Trish Escobar explains why the 16th of September is important to remember at UNC.
We hope to bring awareness about the Mexican culture that is so prominent in Greeley, Colorado. We hope to bring awareness of our presence in the community and at UNC.
In addition to putting on events, the cultural centers offer academic advising and mentoring to all types of students.
A local church in Greeley gives members a chance to share love to the community. Bear News reporter Amanda Nij has the story.
Regular Sunday service, you'll find many UNC students packed in the pews at Christ Community Church. This weekend, some of them jumped at the opportunity to give back to the community. The church hosted an annual event called Sharefest, which beautified areas around Greeley close to campus. All ages participated at Greeley Central High School, cutting vines, shoveling mulch, and landscaping the gardens. UNC student Brooke Madone tells us more about the event.
What's important to me is just being able to love people and show them that through doing work for them they really need.
Church member Sue Warner was also excited about Sharefest.
It's just a great opportunity to kind of show the community that we care about more than just what's going on in our own little church, and it's a practical way to show, you know, what our faith means to us.
This has been Amanda Nij for Bear News.
Thanks, Amanda. Christ Community sponsors several clubs at UNC, including Navigators and Christian Challenge, if you're interested in getting involved.
Students might be curious why numerous cars around campus are colorfully decorated with Greek letters. Once every semester, when fraternities and sororities around campus host recruiting events and allow undergraduate students to rush, commonly known as Rush Week, the Greek houses of UNC host an entire week of events where potential new recruits can be members of each house and participate in fun activities. Accepting new members differs between fraternities and sororities, but at the end of each week, every house hopes to see their numbers grow.
Okay, Paul, it's almost October and it's still really warm, but are we expecting to see a change anytime soon?
It may almost be October, but it feels like it's early June. I'm sorry to say, Jen, but it may actually get warmer. I'll let you know all that and more after the break.
Thank you for calling your GED pep talk. All right, now, are you ready for your GED pep talk?
Being nervous is okay. It just shows that you're serious about getting your diploma.
All right, listen, we all need a little nudge sometimes. I don't function without coffee in the morning, but it is going to take more than a double mochaccino to help you here.
A lot of things are scary. Heck, I'm scared of clowns.
No quiero oír. Danny, no lo puedo hacer. Quiero oír. Danny, lo voy a hacer.
DMC, liking your pep talk style.
Just keeping it real, Debs. Just keeping it real.
Louder! Louder! I'm gonna get my GED! Come on! Get your GED! Hey.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
Back to Bear News. I'm meteorologist Paul Four. Kind of an eerie image looking outside the University Center right now. You can see the clouds opening up, but some rain off to the distance. That was an interesting picture to show you guys. Taking a look into the next 30 days, we're looking at this dark red right here is going to be a signification that there is going to be a warm up compared to other Octobers this coming month. Taking a look at last October, though, it was quite the interesting month. We had up to a high of 88 degrees, but it got as cool as a high of 26 degrees, with it being as cold as 10 degrees last year. But we still had 13 days above 70. I don't think it'll get that cold this next October, but just to look out that it can be very variable. Taking a look at the radar right now, we've got a little bit of severe weather off into Oklahoma and Arkansas right now. If we take a closer look at it, we see some severe storm cells close to Little Rock right now. But if we take a close look at Colorado right now, we've got a little bit of severe weather off to the south, which we'll take a little closer look here. Bennett, Parker, and Aurora are all possibly impacted. There was a tornado warning earlier, but that has since expired. Take a look at the temperatures right now. 59 in Littleton, 64 in Greeley, and 61 degrees in Aurora. Take a look at the high for today. It was only 65 degrees, meaning we're only a degree cooler right now, but it hit 51 degrees this morning. Take a look at the futurecast right now. We can still see that severe storm cell that I told you about near Aurora passing through with some scattered showers in the Greeley area. But as we go on through the night, it will begin to clear up until the morning when we're going to see some clear skies, although there will be a lot of clouds for your morning commute. Tonight's forecast, we're looking at about 67 degrees at around 7 o'clock with the chance of rain showers. We're looking at that to be off and on from about 7 until midnight when it's about to finally clear. Looking at about 54 degrees then. And at around 7 in the morning, we're going to see some nice sunny skies, but it'll be a little chilly, so you might want to grab a jacket at about 43 degrees. Tomorrow's forecast, 73 degrees, and those off and on showers are going to continue all afternoon and evening. We're looking at that to start around noon, so probably around your lunch commute. And then for your weekend forecast, we're going to see this Saturday and Sunday in the upper 70s, but that off and on rain will continue until Saturday with clear skies finally on Sunday. And then this next week, homecoming week, we've got very nice conditions for this homecoming week with anywhere between upper 70s to lower 80s, plus clear skies. Can't make this up, folks. And then your homecoming forecast, we're looking at about, for Monday on the Comedy Club at 8 o'clock, it'll be about 65 degrees. Tuesday, we got some field games out there at about 64 degrees. Wednesday, bingo, gotta love bingo, at about 60 degrees, and clear skies throughout. And Saturday, for your homecoming game and dance, during the game, we're expecting upper 60s, and for the dance, we're expecting mid to upper 50s, so dress accordingly. Now, if anyone knows about homecoming, it's our sports anchor, Ben. Ben?
Thanks, Paul. Coming up in sports, the football team is back on the gridiron, and the volleyball team is back on the court. How are they doing? Don't go far, and I'll let you know. Stick around. Their news is back in 60 seconds.
But you can't seem to get anywhere quickly. You don't want your friends to be annoyed, so you text. You're on your way. Five seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road. Make sure you get where you're going.
It's Timothy Green's first day at school.
What's in there? He's about to fall over.
Anything he might need. There's a box of tissues on the bottom and some Band-Aids. There's a whole first aid kit, actually.
Mom, I can handle it from here.
You don't have to be perfect.
Have a great day.
That's too much pressure.
Have the day you have.
To be a perfect parent.
There are two people in the world who want you more than anything. They'll make some mistakes, but they will love you more than you can ever imagine.
There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Welcome back to Bear News. We start off with a bit of breaking news tonight. After only 2 years as Bears, Mark Montgomery and Jeannie Douglas are taking head and assistant coaching jobs at Louisiana Tech University. Here's the official statement from the university. University of Northern Colorado softball coaches Mark Montgomery and Jeannie Douglas have resigned from the program and have taken positions elsewhere. The search for Montgomery's replacement will begin immediately. The Bears will continue to play their fall schedule as planned. No word as to who will be taking Montgomery's position. UNC football returned from a rough 41-0 loss to Pac-12 power Utah to face Colorado Mesa, still looking for Coach Ernest Collins' first win at the helm of the Bears. By the way, the game was a rematch of the first ever game played at Nottingham back on September 8th, 1995. UNC won that game 58-7. So will history repeat itself? Let's roll that tape. The Bears started off strong, showing they wanted this bad. Jordan Bible, the INT, comes in the first Mesa play from scrimmage. UNC couldn't capitalize on that drive, but later on in the first quarter, Tromaine Dennis pounds this one in from 4 yards out to put the Bears up early 7-0. Mesa showing they're not going down without a fight, trying a little trickeration on the punt. Clarence Bumpus, Gavin Miller see right through it, though, take over on downs. Later on in the second quarter, Dominic Gunn takes over on special teams. He returns 121 yards, but he is just getting warmed up. Third quarter now, Seth Lobato goes next level, finding Dimitri Stimful for this 46-yard touchdown pass. UNC goes up 17-3. Still in the third, it's a bad snap. Laylon Willingham grabs this, runs it in to put the Bears up 23-3, and they weren't done yet. Speaking of not being done yet, Dominic Gunn getting it done. 67 yards later, he finds himself at the 2-yard line, tripped up by the punter. Good news, that run back bumped him up to 5th on the all-time punt return list with 490 for his career, jumping his wide receiver coach, Keith Grable. Fourth quarter, and Tromaine Dennis finds pay dirt not once, but twice. He had 92 yards and 3 touchdowns. Someone get the man a helmet sticker, please. Bears go on to win it. 40-3 the first for Coach Collins in Greeley. Chris Morris, yeah, he's happy about that one. Program's first win in 12 tries. The program's first win in 12 tries was rewarded with a long road trip that started off in Sacramento. The Bears played the Hornets close, giving up a late touchdown that proved to be the difference in the game. Seth Lobato had 327 passing yards and Tromaine Dennis had 70 on the ground, but a touchdown in each quarter from the Hornets kept the Bears stifled all afternoon. Wide receiver Dominic Gunn had 196 all-purpose yards, and his 74-yard punt return for a touchdown put him over 3,000 all-purpose yards for his career. Not bad. Linebacker Clarence Bumpus had 12 tackles on the defensive side. After the loss at Sac State, the Bears took on the Bobcats of Montana State. This one didn't go quite as well. Bobcats QB Denarius McGee had almost 400 yards passing, and Seth Lobato couldn't get the offense going all day. Clarence Bumpus had 11 tackles, but the highlight of the day might have been Dave Eden. He hit all 3 of his field goals, including a nice 42-yarder. He had 10 of UNC's 16 points. After beating Montana to go up 1-0 in the Big Sky, the Bears welcomed in Montana State in volleyball for a shot at 2-0, back to Butler. We'll start off in the first set where Allie Hutchison continues to play lights out. Speaking of lights out, Alyssa Wilson here with the monster cross-court kill to put UNC up 17-15. They'd win the first set 25-19. To the second set where UNC caps off a 4-1 run with the Kelly Arnold kill. She is just getting started. Another monster kill, this time off the ceiling. The Bears take the second set 25-17. Third set, check this out. Marissa Hughes tries for the kill, but Montana State recovers. The ball bounces to the ceiling, and they go and get it. The Bobcats would take the point, but what a display of athleticism. Speaking of Marissa Hughes, she continues to dominate in the front with her trademark sneaky kill, this in the fourth set, to put the Bears up 7-4. Then, guess who's back? It's Kelly Arnold. And folks, this is why she has a couple of Big Sky MVPs under her belt. She is too good, and she just keeps showing it off. After dropping the third set 25-19, the Bears would win the set 25-17 and the match 3-1. The UNC soccer team entered Big Sky play at 2-4-2. They welcomed in Portland State and Sacramento State to kick off their Big Sky title defense, and if this past weekend was any indication, things could be very good in Greeley again. The Bears swept the weekend, downing Portland State 1-0 on a Vikings own goal in the 83rd minute, and they beat Sacramento State 2-0 on two late goals, one in the 68th minute and one in the 81st minute, when Tara Rickenbach put one in the back of the net to finish off the Hornets. The Bears are 2-0 in the Big Sky. They face North Dakota this Friday before visiting Montana and Eastern Washington on the road next week. Like Bear News Sports on Facebook and watch Bear Zone for the latest on how the soccer team is doing and all things UNC sports related. Well, before we leave you tonight, have you heard of the new Gangnam Style craze? It's sweeping the country, and yes, it's sweeping the UNC campus. The freshmen on the soccer team put this little gem together. Take a listen.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Oppan Gangnam. Hey, sexy lady. Oppan Gangnam Style.
Well, first it was Call Me Maybe, and now this. What's next? You know,
I'm kind of already sick of Gangnam Style.
That song gets stuck in my head every time I listen to it.
You know, it's going to be the next big thing, and I have a feeling this is not the last UNC team that we'll see put together a video like this.
Oh, no, I'm sure. We'll have them every week. Every week. All right, well, after the break, we'll show you one of the biggest parties Greeley hosts every year.
We'll be right back.
Sorry,
There are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
Mom, can we get some ice cream?
Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
What better way to start off the fall semester than with a party? And luckily for students at UNC, Greeley has its own, the annual Block Party. Bear News reporter Danny Gross has more.
It was a small event with a big sound as students packed 9th Avenue and 16th Street for the 6th annual Greeley Block Party. Event coordinator Eli Corliss explains the significance of the event.
It started in 2007. It's a local community event designed to celebrate the good things going on near the UNC campus. We purposely do it on the first Friday back to school so that the students have a great party to go to in the beginning of school. And I hope they can, that we get rid of that stigma that Greeley is kind of a cow town with nothing fun going on.
A total of 13 bands played at the event, while vendors and local businesses came out to support the UNC community.
I definitely think it gets the college students out and they see totally what's here for us, and it's really eye-opening. It was awesome. I was a freshman last year, so it was good for me to get to know Greeley better.
Reporting from 9th Avenue and 16th Street, I'm Danny Gross, Bear News.
The party was a bit smaller this year, but coordinators hope that the funds raised during this year's event will allow the next year's bash to be even bigger.
Well, it looks like a really fun party.
It was a lot. Looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah. That'll do it for us tonight.
Tune in next week to stay up to date on all UNC's news. Have a good night.